Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah. Asyhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. In the name of Allah, the merciful Redeemer, the merciful Benefactor, we openly bear witness that none is worthy of worship but Almighty Allah. He said, La ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lahu, wa lahul mulk, wa lahul hamd, wa yuhyi wa yumiit. None is worthy of worship but Almighty Allah. All of the praises are to Allah. It is He who gives life and who gives death. We bear witness as believers, as Muslims, that Allah stands alone, having no partners, having no sons. It is He who controls, who owns, who creates everything that man can see, and those things that man cannot see, those things that man cannot even grasp without the permission of Almighty Allah. Allah has bestowed upon us the last prophet, and some, as we often mention, they say the last messenger. And as we mentioned upon last week in our Sunday Ta'aleem, that if you are Muslim, if you are believers, you are also messengers. Not the Prophet ﷺ, we are not the Prophet, but we represent the office of the Prophet. Muslims throughout the world, you accept this Quran, then you accept what Allah has given us. The Christian brothers and sisters say, a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify. The Muslims say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. All praises are due to Almighty Allah. And we say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Having, as we often say, two mercies, Rahman and Rahim. And in the origin of this word, we see the word Arahan, meaning womb, meaning womb. And certainly some of you are familiar with this, that we often mention this to you. But in mentioning this, it is very understanding. It is very understanding when you read the Quran and you go to the Quran without looking for fault, without trying to judge the Quran in the manner in which you would any other book. The Quran cannot be read as you read any other book. You must open up. You must open your hearts up. Open your minds up. But as you do this, you surrender what you think to be your intelligence. You surrender your mind. You surrender those analyses that you have made. You surrender your scientific experiences, your scientific findings in reading the Quran. As you read the Quran, and Allah teaches us. Allah teaches us? Yes, Allah teaches us. Just as He taught the Prophet. What did He teach the Prophet? Peace and blessings be upon him. He taught him the Quran. He gave him al-Bayan. And Allah says, when asked about the Quran, when people ask, what is this? What is this Quran? And it says of itself, this is the book. This is the book. This is the book. In it is guidance. It is guidance. It is guidance. So the Quran explains itself. For the last month, I've mentioned to you at least 3 or 4 times as to how the Quran instructs you itself about itself. You want to know the answers, you want to know about the Quran, then study the book. Study the book. And as we prepare ourselves as being Muslims, as we come to the Jummah prayer, we are coming to adhere to what Allah has required of us. All of us have the same requirements as believers. All of us have the same requirements as Muslims. as those who say that they believe and that they surrender. So Allah gives us this book, and in it, it is warnings, and in it, it is a healing. It is a healing. How does this healing take place? Is that you subject yourself to being healed. You subject yourself to taking the medicine. And when you take the medicine, you are to give it time. You can't take too much doses at one time. If you are taking a particular medicine, the doctor doesn't tell you to take all the pills at one time. You might say every 4 hours, every 12 hours, one a day. You have to admonish yourself. You have to take the Quran, and as you take the Quran, you take it bit by bit, piece by piece. You seek to understand what is transpiring. So all of the prophets, those that received the books before the coming of the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, they were receiving a portion. They were receiving a measure. They were receiving weights. And some say, oh, that's heavy. That's heavy. They're talking about weights. And some, when studying the Quran, when looking at the Sunnah of the Prophet, when looking at the Hadith, some will say, oh, that's heavy. And it's so heavy to some that they close their eyes and they just shake their head. But if you, again, would surrender to the best of your understanding, surrender to the best thereof, as the Quran says itself, and follow the best thereof, and follow the best thereof. From the Surah, Zukhruf, that reading the English in these particular ayats that we will read, ayats 23 and 24 from the Surah 43, for those of you who keep notes. Just in the same way, whenever we send a warner before thee, any people, the wealthy ones among them said, we found our fathers following certain religions, and we will certainly follow their footsteps. He said, what? Even if I brought you better guidance than that which you found your fathers following? They said, for us, we deny that ye prophets are sent on a mission at all. Surely Almighty Allah speaks the truth. We are reading about our father Abraham, as to what he encountered and seeking to impart knowledge, common sense, rationale, logic to what he had observed in studying the sun, the moon, and the stars and their sitting, knowing and looking for something that gave him a mind, that gave him peace of mind, let us say. So as he began to observe the creation, as he began to observe his own creation, Abraham said, I worship only him who made me. I worship only him who made me. And he will certainly guide me. Now then, if we are thinking like this, if we begin to adhere to the practices of Muslims for thousands of years, or over 1,400 years ago, we know that this religion, that the Quran, that the life of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, it was to bring us into a progressive state of mind. It was to bring us in a state of mind that will enable us to utilize all of the utilities of the heavens and the earth, of the cosmos and the earth. And Allah says, I have created all of this for your benefit, man. I have created all that you see for your benefit. Study it, work with it. And as you study it and you work with it and you get something from it, as you begin to produce, share it. Share it. Sadaqah, zakat, share it. Yes, you should certainly give your 2%. You should certainly give whatever amount it is that you can give, that you're able to share. But what do you have that is of more benefit to the society other than money, or more so than money? It is the teachings of Quran. It is the words that are written, the words that are inscribed on these pages. It is the words that are prescribed, as we said before, on these leaves. And as we begin to study the words, as we begin to sit back and to think, dhikr, It is required of us that we are thinking people. And Allah says, for thinking men and thinking women. So that eradicates anything where it says that, women, they really can't think. This is for men. This is a man's world. And it became balanced. There would be nothing without a woman or a girl. And you have to find ways to make things bring you to a state of peace and rest and understanding. You can't take things so literally that it pulls you away from common decency, common sense. Now, I'm going to say something to you with reference to marriage in just a few moments, because this world has been blasted with codes and language and secrets and holding things. 2 weeks ago, the hanging gardens. Something that you can't grasp is something that's hanging. So we go back to that in hopes of giving you an understanding of what is transpiring. How are you being manipulated? Let's look at clothes before we go to Miriam. And as we think about Esau giving Miriam, Jesus the son of Mary, we're talking to you like this because we're talking to a larger group than just here. This will be televised. And there are some brothers and sisters that are not here, not in this state, that are witnessing, that are listening to what we are saying. The Muslims, as you find different methodologies, in terms of how to depart, the best manner in which to depart the teachings of Quran. You have to realize that you have a superior textbook. This is the ultimate textbook, the Quran. You have to believe that. You have to love this Quran in order for you to benefit from it. Your mate, the womb that bears your physical children, when they see that you are a strong male, a strong man, then they provide meals for you. They provide warmth for you. They provide sensitivities when you've had a hot day in the office or wherever. They give you that sense of comfort in looking at the womb that bears your children. They provide an environment for you and the children that come from that womb, that comes from your seed that enters the womb of your mate. And as the child comes forth after this 9 months of life in the womb, Arham, as it's developing in the womb, as the child develops in the womb of his mother, and when the child comes from the womb of the mother, it comes to another environment, another womb, this womb that's out in the society, this womb of this world. So as the child is there developing, and we have the word Arham, I want you to think again now about the womb of Quran. The womb of Quran. In the womb we grow. In the womb we develop. We develop. As you read the Quran and you are following the Quran, it brings you along slowly. As a gentle rain falls to the earth. And Allah says in the Quran that the same rain that falls upon the earth, some benefit from the rain. Others grow bushes and thorns. All of us have the Quran, but all of us are not equally yoked because all of us are not giving ourselves the way we should as instructors. If you are a Muslim, you are a teacher. Oh, you might not accept your position, but you have a job. You're to teach this method with your character. You're to teach these words with your character. The way that you project yourself in the outer environment. You are to be teaching. You are to assist those who have developed in another womb. You are to inject certain medications, certain healing agents from the words of Quran. You had this Quran so long, you take it for granted. And when we talk to each other, we take it for granted in terms of what God has blessed us with. The prophets, peace and blessing be upon them. And Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When you look in terms of what he did during those times, we'll sit back in this modern day language, you might say, wow, ooh, they went through all of that and they still survived, they still made it. The clothing that we have, the clothes that we have on now, what do these clothes do? They protect our body. They cover our body. It is very important that we understand the functioning of the clothes that we wear. Remember, in the teachings of the Bible, and yes, we teach from the Bible. Why? Because America is buried in the Bible. The masses are buried in the Bible. The poor, the people of color, they are buried in the Bible. All over the world, people are buried in the Bible. Why? Because there's been a famine of not hearing the proper teachings of Almighty God. Then am I accusing those who are non-Muslims and other religions as hiding the wisdom? Yes, those who have not taught the truth, who have not given the masses what they need in order to progress in this world that Allah has made for all people. And look at the story they give us in the Bible, this wonderful book. Yes, I just said the Bible is a wonderful book. Well, isn't that controversial in terms of what you just said? No, if you understand it. If you understand the codes and the secrets and the languages that it projects. As you understand this, as you take Quran and you clarify, you clear up the deceit that's been projected to the masses, then the masses will get a better understanding of what their duties are and how they have been manipulated. So we are manipulated with dress. We're told how to dress. It's fashionable this year to wear this. It's fashionable this year to wear that. But let's go back a few years and look at dress. And let's look at dress and let's look at color. Let's look at our garments. And look what the shaitan did. Say that the shaitan caused our father and our mother, Adam and Eve, if you will, caused them to become unrobed. And as the Quran says, do not become like your parents who became disrobed, if you understand it. Who became disrobed. Don't let the shaitan pull you away from your dress. And what is the best dress? The dress of righteousness. This dress. We have what is known as formal dress. If you're going to a so-called gala affair, what do you wear? Tux and tails. And earlier the tux and tails, they were black. And we told you last week, when you go into the courtroom, generally, olden days, the judges wore black. Now you see different colors. Women are wearing red, they're wearing purple, a lot of different colors the judges wore. But generally, that black is symbolic. It is symbolic of the one that's in authority. You look at certain police departments, or the Jummah boys that we mentioned a couple of weeks ago. Look at the color of the cars. They're black. Look at the uniforms. It's black. They are protecting some type of authority. So here we are talking about this dress. Now let's go in terms of what I said about Mary. When you see in a society the way that your woman dresses, it says something about the society. But the women in this society of man, I always talk about the opposite. Not the society, not the world, not the community that Allah gives us, that He gives to the believer. It's available to all, but there are some who will adhere to the society, to the world, the artificial world of man. They will adhere to what that society dictates. So they create styles. They create fashions. And those fashions are there just like a web, a spider's web, to pull you in. Their manipulation says, when you see a woman in a long dress, they are basically saying they are trying to give some type of moral structure to the society. This is no guesswork. These are the things that they do. They manipulate the society. So here's a woman with a long dress. Then what happened? What happened in the 60s? The dresses came up. As the dresses got shorter and shorter, so went the moral fiber, the moral structure, the moral consciousness. Man lost his mind because he said his female has been covered up all these years. Even in the days of the Westerns, the cowboys, their women had super long dresses. Look, they had on 4 or 5 dresses at the same time. All the can-cans, they were dressed up. A dress covers you again. Your clothes cover you. So now, sometimes the knowledge is covered up. Sometimes the knowledge is shrouded. But again, remember, the higher the dresses went up, the society itself, not just the women, but the society itself, because it's a natural thing for you to be attracted to a female, and vice versa. But those who wrestle, those who seek to understand, those who study the book, they learn how to put on the best dress. And even in their society, they wore the tux and the tails, tuxedo, the tux and the tails, the long tail, In this society, it represented those who were in secret societies, secret orders, and they told many tales. And animals have tails. Animals have tails. Animals, they use the tails, yes, to give them balance, but also the cat's tail. The cat tail, it is a deceptive mechanism, a deceptive tool. And when a cat is spraying up on the bird get hung up on watching the cat's tail, seeing the tail going backwards and forth, and he's so hypnotized watching the tail, before he knows it, he's been eaten alive. We get so wrapped up in watching Hollywood and watching television and listening to the media, we are being hypnotized by tales, tall tales, lies, deceit, stories, stories. So we are caught up in stories. These are modern day tools and mechanisms that the Shaitan is using against the people. He's disrobing us. He's taking away our civility. The word civics, some of you have been in the military. You know, when they talk about civics, you have on your civics, they're talking about your clothes. If you don't have civics, which is a play on civilization, you going out into the civilization and having on the proper clothes for that, rather than have on your combat clothes, your military clothes, if you're out in the field, you have to hear this language. This isn't something I'm just here saying to you. I want you to understand what is transpiring in this world. So they covered this world with stories, corrupt stories, mythological stories, metaphorical stories in the Bible. Yet I still say it's a good book if you understand it. But the Quran comes. The Quran came to us through our prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, to clear all of this mysticism and make it plain in our churches where our brothers and sisters go. Some of them, they be so caught up in the emotions, and some are following the pastor, the preacher, the reverend, or what have you, and they say, make it plain, Red, make it plain. The Quran is as plain as you will ever get in your life. If you are surrendering, that light rain, that light mist that hit your head, if you are just part-time Muslim, if you are not serious about what you're doing, I don't care if it's a heavy downpour, it is not going to be sufficient to bring you out of that darkness. Even with your clothing again. They used to have, or they called it, underwear. Underwear. And in my day, and for some of you others in here, they had underwear, they had long underwear, and this is your dress. It covers your lower extremities, underwear. And at one time, all of the underwear was white. Then they began to change it. Why? Because now they're bringing the dresses up. And they place it upon the women to attract you. The colors change. Red, and purple, and pink. And if you went outside at one particular time without any underwear, and somebody said, ooh, you ain't got on no underwear. This is talking about you being equipped to examine things, to have insight. This language is to deceive you. This world is to deceive you. And what you see, remember the old comedian said, what you see is what you get. And there was a song about that. What you see is what you get. In the Quran, again, if you are not giving yourself, you are not going to receive this message correctly, because you are being a part-time thinker. You are not totally surrendering yourself. You are not wearing the best of your garments. Some people are able to afford high-dollar suits, high-dollar dresses. And my goodness, $5,000 and $10,000 and $20,000 purses. Can you imagine that? And some men that's a little bit more wealthy in the entertainment world, some of them have little bags that cost $25,000 and $30,000. Can you imagine what the believer would do with that kind of money? We have to see the scheme of the Shaitan on every level of consciousness. The Shaitan has a trick for you. He is a way for you. When I say for you, I mean the society. I mean mankind. So as we look and as we study, we see how this dress has clothed us. But you have to choose your own dress. And Allah has recommended a dress for you. And I often say, when you come to Jummah, wear your best dress. If you're just coming from work, but wear your best dress. We don't wait for the Eid to wear our best dress. We get your best dress. It is your righteous conscience. It is your righteousness. Now, if your righteousness has been sidetracked, You have to go to the Quran for this healing. And as you drink of the water, as you drink of the nectar, of the best of your understanding, the best of your understanding from the Quran, the best of your understanding of the Sunnah of the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, you will begin to rise up. And Allah will bless you, as He said, it is He who will cause your ascension also. He will lift you up. He will lift us up. He will lift the righteous up. So this language that we have, dear beloved brothers and sisters, it is not a language to make our heads big. It is not a language that causes you to fall from the heavens. And as you study this language and accept this language, Allah tells us, as we study the language, this language will help us, that we not fall from the gardens, that we not fall or be put out of the heavens or of the paradise. When you drop this message, when you fail to perform your 5 basic principles throughout your life, though yes, we slip sometimes, but then Allah allows us to pray to Him. But as we move forward, focusing on Allah, our clothing become clean. I can recall sometimes we might have just had maybe 2 pair of pants, but my parents had those clothes clean. Mother would have those clothes clean, wash them and put them out on the clothesline outside. There wasn't no washers and dryers. Basically, they wash things on their hands. So now here it is, we take the ablution. We are washing away the filth from our natural dress. So Almighty Allah has bestowed upon us kindness and mercy. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasulullah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
And nafs, and the jinn. 2 words, very important. We can basically look at nafs. We know generally in the Quran that is translated a people, and that is certainly correct. And nafs also says to us it references a people who are driven by concern. They are driven by concern for their human problems, their human nature. The nas and nas, those people who have given themselves to the divine order, to the way of life that we see, that the prophet lived. Those people who have an inclination, who are connected with their innate nature, who are connected with their original nature. And that original nature, it allows us to go back to the paradise in which our fathers of old lived in. This is the person, this is Nas. They want to make progress. They want to live. And they want to get better. And when they are not doing better, the Nas, the believers, they are depressed. They feel bad. But you are not following, you are not doing what you're supposed to do. But you are making an attempt. And your intentions are to do what's right. That's a Nas when you hear that in the Quran. So don't just take it that means man. That means the people. Yeah, it does. But it's also describing a people. It's describing an attitude. As opposed when you look at the jinn who was just the opposite. He doesn't have the same makeup. And the jinn says that he was made from a stanky mud or from mud and a scorching wind, from a scorching fire. This is one that thrives off of fire, off of passion, uncontrolled passion, rush into things, doesn't think, doesn't take time, but just rush into something. And it's studying the life of the prophet, it says, and think 5 times before you respond. The Quran, this life of Islam, of Muslim, it is the life that causes us to think. I want to think. The spirit that is in us, the spirit that Allah has bestowed upon us, it is a spirit that assists us in our excelling. And you will do it so natural when you're just not just trying to excel, that you may be seen. We don't God and pray and make tons and tons of rakahs just to be seen. If that's what you're doing, do it for the betterment of your soul, because we're not helping Allah. All that you do of goodness, it is for your sake. It is for our sake. Whatever we do in practicing our religion, this religion of Islam, it is for our betterment. And the better we become, the better the society, the better the world, this country becomes. Again, we are teachers. Now, what about Mary? The story that you have been given in the Bible, and I say to you, this is not talking about the Quran, but the Quran clears this up if you become students of words in the Quran, of ayats in the Quran. You will see it. But let me take you to Mary. And some will seek the aid and the assistance of others that they believe of the ultimate scholars of the world, and what we say in looking at metaphorical language that has came to the world at large. Many believe that there's only one way to think about what has been said. It says that Mary was not touched by any man, and her provisions were already taken care of. Now, I want you to think about it in the short duration that we have in addressing this. You want to get the rest of it, inshallah. You can come out on our Sunday at 12:30 and 2. It refers to no man assisting Jesus with the understanding and with the natural movement of man's five senses, of understanding the five senses and the benefit of those five senses. He grew more so naturally, without the aid of any man, impregnating his mother with reference, I'm speaking on the spiritual level, physically, morally, and spiritually. Abada, this is more so the physical. La'awama, this is dealing with the mental. Nasta mutma'inna. Now, this is that soul at rest that Allah says, enter ye my paradise. Now, what does this have to do with Mary? Here was a woman that was pure. It was pure in the sense that no man came to her and gave her information to give to Esau. The information that Esau, even Miriam, received in terms of her pregnancy, it was where Almighty Allah had blessed her spirit, and that was within her womb, that was being mobilized. That embryo that was in her womb, in her stomach, some say in the belly, that was being taught and nourished by Almighty Allah. And it says that he spoke from the cradle. This is the Bible language. And it mentions the Quran in terms of speaking from the cradle. But it was saying in terms of, here was one that had developed. If you speak of a child in the language of the secret orders, they are talking about and referring to one that is basically raw, one that has not developed yet. When you hear the word adulthood, it is speaking of those who have reached an age, and a certain age that they reach, this society says, oh, you're 21, you're a man now. But for the wise, they know as you grow older, they speak of the age of 33 and a third, if you can follow this language. They speak of 33. They talk about in terms of Jesus' birth or death and his age and when he became mature. And those in the secret orders, once they get their 33rd degree, oh boy, they reached it, and they get a copy of this Quran. You should listen to what I'm saying and take what I'm saying to heart. This language that they hold over our head, you are not grasping it. Why? Because you haven't been taught this. The society at large, those who accept it and they see this mystical, metaphorical language being given to them, believing that a woman can be impregnated without the aid of a man. Now see, now some of you in your thing, you say, oh, but all things are possible with the law. Certainly they are. But the law is not the author of confusion. He makes everything clear. Now see, some of you, that touch you the wrong way. But if you begin to think, if you look at what the law has given us, he's given us information outside, but he also has given us information inside. 7 above and 7 within. This language is no joke. The Quran clarifies all of this. And he says in Quran, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. And again, Ibrahim, in reading 27, ayah 27 again from this surah. I worship only him who made me, and he will certainly guide me. And he left it as a word to endure among those who came after him, that they may turn back to Allah. These words that come to us, dear beloved believers, these are words that are to be ingested as you eat your meal, as we were talking about last week, the masticating of your food. You eat your food and you chew it as fine as you can. Don't just eat it, taste good, you just swallow, then you get in trouble. Then when it goes into the digestive system, then you get constipated because you haven't chewed it properly. You haven't chewed it properly. The Quran is the same way. You have to chew on it with your mind, with your intellect, but also with your heart. You have to give yourself to taking time and appreciating it, just as we should appreciate our mates. If we are working, appreciate the jobs that we have. You're working for yourself, I know you appreciate that even more. And you say, after this difficulty, oh, the ease is coming after you're working. This ease is coming. The struggle, after the struggle, this ease is coming. But everything you get easy, you don't appreciate it. But you appreciate those things that you work for. As the Muslims, as Allah bless us to come into the community of Muslims, a universal brotherhood, we should have an appreciation for that. We should look to do away with title and just be Muslims. If we're in different cultural environments, that's a wonderful thing to have a culture and a tradition. But if that culture and tradition interferes with the Quran, interferes with me loving my brother, though we may be from Iraq or from Misr or from Egypt or Turkey or wherever my brother may be from, this Quran, it seals our unity. It seals our brotherhood. And when I say brotherhood, when I say man, the woman is always included in this. But we are the ones that are to be out front. We're the ones that are to be out front. And as we often mention, the Khalifa 10 with the time of Buddha at the end, it is feminine. It is talking about all of us. Just as we say Muslims, we're talking about all Muslims. Learn to think on a larger scale with the Quran. The Quran isn't petty, it isn't small. It is to move forward, it is to think big. Now we hear about the modern transportation. I'm coming to a close, we have about 4 minutes. The modern transportation. How astounding it was to me when he first saw an airplane. How astounding it was for our ancestors to look up and to see a vehicle, a T-mile or 8-mile forward. And to look at a train, people used to call it an iron horse. People would see a train coming by, everybody would just stop and look at the train, the modern technology. Now we have jets, supersonic speed, 800, 900 miles an hour. Now they have a vehicle that they're putting out, or two, it goes beyond supersonic speed. Say, normally it might take you 6 to 7 hours to go coast to coast. This machine is so fast, it says to go from New York to Los Angeles, you can do it in 30 minutes. Can you imagine that? They're working on it right now. But look, that could only have happened by the permission of Almighty Allah. Man can only leave his orbit when he understands mathematical equations, when he understands the sciences, when he understands the numbers, when he sit back and think and pull himself away from the noise and clamor that's out in the society. So as man pulled back from all of the difficulty out there, all of the things that are surrounding him. As we look and we talk about the revolutions of the earth, or the orbiting of the earth as it evolves around the sun. It is common knowledge that a smaller body gravitates to a larger body. It is pulled into a larger body. The corruption in America, it attracts the masses in the form of the media, in the form of dress, whatever you think about. What car you might buy? What's the best car out there? What's most affordable? And you look now in America, they're doing everything they can to put you in some kind of vehicle. You're being attracted. You might not even can afford the vehicle, but you got to have a ride. And I recall how things were before this modern technology came about, which technology is wonderful. Don't get it off track. Don't get it twisted, as the young people say. But when you look at what the technology does to humanity, which all of you leave out of here, you're going to get your phones. You start. You start. It's control. You're being controlled by this telephone. How do you think the world would exist, or how the world existed before the telephone? Yes, we do need the telephone. Yes, there's much information on it. But when you're driving, observe. You go to the mall, observe, everybody got their phone. Everybody got their phone. And the phone has become the social structure. The time that you spend with the media, Facebook and all these other books that are out there. I'm just saying, be careful and give yourself time to study the Quran, whereas you make progress, whereas you will benefit and you will assist others in benefiting from the life example of the Prophet. How many of you read the Quran daily and seek an understanding of what the Quran is saying to us? So, dear beloved Muslim, as we look at the society that is full of symbolism, seeing the donkey with his big head donkey, having long ears and a small body. Then you look at the elephant with a little bitty head and a great big old body. They are describing the people, and the people don't even know it, and they're talking about a Republican and a Democrat, the party. And we oftentimes, we want to know where the party. Have those who were past 60 and 70, they're still out there trying to party. Let's go to the club. And the Quran mentioned in terms of people who are occupied, who have been enslaved by sporting play. And in the book known as the Bible, it says, my people have been destroyed by wine and song. Saying the same thing. You have to guard your body of righteousness. You think simply because you prayed and you adhere to the 5 principles that Shaitan just let you alone? No. The more you gain, the bigger you get, the more the challenges are. The bigger the city in terms of population, the more people in the city, the crowded the city is, the more your challenges, the more your tests. But you can pass those tests by following the lifestyle of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. People of Muslim, we are to seek the bounty of Allah. As we seek this bounty, we are to be grateful. We are to be grateful. And the intellect that we have, even when someone says, oh, you're just so smart, I say, Alhamdulillah, all praise to God. And if you say Alhamdulillah, somebody says, what do you say? Oh, that means all praise to God. You have to find ways as to how to get this language to the people. You see Islam growing, yeah, they're showing the media the corruption, the pitfalls of the things that are happening negative among the Muslims throughout the world, but they won't show you all of the good. This past Tuesday, all praise due to Allah, we were able to be a part of our Brother Frank Leviston, who they project as being this big Christian. They're not denouncing Christianity. But we were fortunate enough to attend that funeral, as they call it, janazah for us. And the reception that we got. Can you imagine from here to Hearn, on both sides of the street, nothing but American flags and veterans? And then you got ready to go to the graveyard on both sides of the road. Here were soldiers of every different military group there is, Army, Air Force, Navy, what have you, on both sides of the road, giving homage to our brother. This meant a whole lot. This was a historical thing. There was a man that lived to be 110 years old. But my point is this.